Welcome to cooking school. Today we're going to make Hotdish. It's a one-pot meal, so everything will cook in one pot, and then we toss it in the oven and enjoy. So Minnesota is known for hot dishes, and each region has their own favorite hot dish. And if you look at St. Paul's is tater tot hot dish. So we're going to make tater tot hot dish tonight. All right, so let's get started. First, we need a pot. You can do this multiple ways. You can use a skillet to brown your hamburger. I'm just going to use my La Crusette. So I'm going to do everything in one container. So I'm going to take my lid, set it aside for right now. And then I have 1 pound of hamburger. So I'm going to stick my hamburger. I'm going to start my pan. I'm going to get it a little warm. Turn that on. Doesn't need to be on high. Medium, high. Once my pan is just a touch warm so that I don't, otherwise it gets kind of crusty, I'm going to put my hamburger in there and then we will start browning it. Throw my garbage away and we will watch our meat. So our meat starts raw. We need to cook it. Otherwise, it's not safe to eat. So we're going to brown it in our pan. Some people like to brown it with onion. You can dice up onions, toss it in there, brown it all together. It gives a nice good flavor. You can brown it plain as well. Either way you want to do it. The next thing we want to do while we're waiting for our hamburger to brown is we want to turn our oven on. We're going to have to preheat it so that it's ready when we're all done browning and tossing all of our ingredients together. We're going to have to stick it in the oven. Our temperature today is 350. So I'm going to hit bake, and I'm going to set my oven to 350 and let it preheat. On my spoon, while my hamburger is browning, I just kind of want to mix it around a little bit so it evenly browns because we don't want it to burn in the bottom of our pan. So now, like I said, we could do this in a skillet. We could do it multiple ways. I chose to do it this way because this is the pan I'm going to bake it in. You could bake yours in an 8.5 by 11 or a 9 by 11 pan. You could bake it in whatever kind of pan, my Minnesota pan. Whatever you want to bake it in is just fine. You just want a container that you can stick in the oven to bake with. I like this pan because it heats evenly and it holds my ingredients well. So we are going to let this cook and we'll check back in a minute. Okay guys, my hamburger has been browning. So now it is good and cooked. So now we have to turn our burner off. And then I have to drain the liquid out. So there's multiple ways you can brown hamburger. You can brown it in the microwave. You can boil it with water. You can just cook it open over the stove. And then usually I drain this into a can. But today, because of recording, I'm just going to use a paper towel to soak up all my extra juices. Grab my hot pad. And I can tip it a little bit to get all that extra juice to run into my paper towel. And this is just the extra fats that cooked out. No big deal. But it makes it really greasy if we eat it all. So if you do it with water, you would just drain the water after you're done browning it. So I'll bring this over and show you what my brown hamburger looks like. Nice and cooked. So now that my hamburger is ready, I can add my other ingredients. So for this, I need a can of cream of mushroom soup, pop top, and then I have a spatula and I can just scrape all of my extras in there. Dump my soup in. Set that aside so I can rinse it. Frozen green beans. I only need about half this bag because this is kind of a big bag. My family likes green beans. Just toss those in. And then salt and pepper. So I'll just use a couple cranks of salt. And a couple cranks of pepper. Then we'll mix it all together. My pan is warm because this is the one I cooked my meat in. And once it's all mixed together, all mixed together, I'm just going to even it out in my pan a little bit. So this is where if you wanted to bake it in a baking dish, in a shallow baking dish, you could just toss it into your baking dish. Or like we said, we were just going to leave it in this one. So I'm going to even it out. And then I'm going to put tater tots on top. So I just have a big bag of tater tots. And we really like tater tots in our house, so I'm going to use the whole bag. Stick them on top. Even them out. And then it's ready to go in the oven. And I'm going to put this in the oven for about 30 to 45 minutes. The green beans need to cook because I used frozen green beans. You could use a different vegetable. You could use multiple vegetables. You can do it however you want. It is your tater tot hot dish. But this is what it looks like. And then I'll open up my oven door. Careful because it's hot. And stick it in. Close the door and set my timer. I'm going to set it for 30 minutes because it's 30 to 45 minutes that it needs to cook. So at 30 minutes, when my timer goes, we will check it and see if it needs more time. All right, guys, our timer is almost ready to go. When it does, we will check our tater tots and our hot dish and make sure it's cooked. So we just want to make sure that it's warm in the center and the tater tots are nice and crisp. There it is! Magic of technology, right? Here we go, guys. Let's open the stove. The oven, take it out, close it to keep the heat in case we have to put it back in. You know what? My tater tots need probably just a little bit longer. So I'm going to open this back up, toss it back in, and put my timer on for about 10 more minutes. See you back then. There's our timer. It's been another 10 minutes. We'll turn our timer off and we'll check our hot dish. Oh, smells amazing. My tater tots look nice and crisp. I am ready to eat. All right, guys. Thanks for joining me today. Have a great day. Enjoy Tater Tot Hot Dish, a Minnesota tradition.